Hello. It's another insightful moment on the Meet the Child show. We keep talking about China, studying and living in China, and prospect or life after the studies in China. With me here to do today's discussion is Dr. Amoh. He's a very calm and collected person, and it's a privilege to speak to Dr. Amoh. Doctor, good day.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Yeah. Without wasting much of the time of dear viewers, maybe you say something about yourself and where we are now.
I'm Alexander. At the moment, I'm in my office at Pentecost University, Faculty of Business Administration. Yeah, so you are speaking with me at Pentecost University, so, Faculty of Business Administration.
Good. So we are right here at Pentecost University, somewhere in Accra. Doc, without wasting your time, let's hit straight on the topic.
Okay.
Studying and living in China and life or prospects after the studies. So when we say living in China, how is living in China like? What is a day in life for the average Ghanaian student living in China? When you wake up from the morning till evening, what runs through your head?
That's a very interesting question. I must say the very first time I got to China, I got there, early in the morning, around 5 a.m. And in fact, I had a lot of, what we put it, culture shocks. Shocks. Because you have people staring at you. For that, I had that from the airport until I managed my way. I didn't know where. I knew where I was going. Yeah. I go to Shanghai. Then I need to pick a train to Nanjing. So from the airport to, I got there like 4 a.m. So I have to sleep at the airport. Early in the morning, then I have to go and find a subway to Nanjing. So as I said, you have people staring at you. That was August 2014.
2014.
So in the subway going, you realize that everyone is looking at you, and you sit by someone, the person will push that way. So I go to my school, and I went to the administration's office, and they got me a place to. But going out afterward, you realize that still people were just like, it's like the color, they are staring at the color, the black color and stuff, and that. Until maybe late, maybe 2018-19, that we had a lot of students coming in, so that became a lot.
The influx of black students was so high.
So high. So
you wouldn't see that R card being played.
Yes. But when we got there earlier, you realize that
black students around.
Yeah, and you also be shocked of the food that they eat. They are very delicious, but if you are the first timer, you realize that this is something that maybe you are not familiar with, and maybe you might not even try to taste it, but it's something worth tasting. And when you begin to enjoy it, you love it more. Okay. And as I speak with you now,
you have the desire.
I have the desire to have some food too. So in all, it's a mix of feelings. Let me put it that way. As I said, the culture shock is there, all right. But when you get along with them too, it becomes so interesting.
I get you. Thank you. But so I usually ask this question: was your journey or expedition about studying or to find a job in China?
Me particular, I was there for studies. I've had my bachelor studies at Legon. Then I had the opportunity to do the masters in UK. Okay. Then after UK, my dad wanted me to stay. I said no, I'll come down to make an impact in my own country. So I came back, and in fact, I have to go through a lot of challenge to find a job. I stay home like almost 1 year to 2 years. Then finally I had a job, but that one a friend introduced me to someone, and I found a job But before I was before I got a job, because I've been home for a long time, I decided to, why don't I pursue my education? Because my dad also told me that if you like, go and study again, but I'm not going to add a penny. So, but then my brother was in China. He went there to do masters. So while I was going to China, whilst I was going to UK, he was there in China. He said, "Oh, there are a lot of opportunities here. You can apply for scholarship and stuff and that." So I said, "Oh, give me some of the schools and let me try." Then I got admission and they gave me partial scholarship. So I told him that they gave me partial scholarship. He said, "Oh, partial, how much is that?" And I said, "They said only school fees." He said, "No, only school fees. It means that you need to pay for your rent. You cannot make it. So you need to ask them to add something more." So I asked, and I wrote back to the school and I said, "Only tuition, I cannot make it. So because I have nothing on me." So they finally said, okay, they will add something. They will give me 20,000 RMB. That's if equivalent to dollars is around 3,000 then. So I said, okay, let me give it a try. So let me go. So I have to leave my work and go to China for my education, PhD precisely.
That's good. We're going for a break. When we come back, the doctor tells us all about living and studying in China. So, Doc, still on jobs. What experience do you have to share with us, or what probably you heard that this and that goes on in China with regard to Ghanaian students who live in China, and anything at all to share when it comes to job in China?
Jobs in China, quite interesting. The only job or one particular job that students do in China is teaching. That is to teach English. And what makes it so interesting is that how to get teaching jobs in China. Because as students, you're supposed to have, you are not having a working visa. And for you to work in China, you have to have what? A working what?
Permit.
Yeah, a working visa or permit. And all students, let me put it that way, do not have a working what? Permit. So it's interesting. But we still find ourselves, one way or the other, to teach. And the Chinese particular do maybe accept us to work simply because paying student comes with let me say they pay less for students to teach. But the journey before you be accepted, they expect that probably you do have an accent from the US or probably from the UK, or maybe you are a native speaker. Even though if you're a student, they want that aspect of you before you can be easily accepted. So with my experience, I got there and I've not taught phonics before, and the first day I got to job, they said I should go and teach phonics. In fact, it was a bit, I don't know how to put it, but the experience wasn't good at all. You know, you need to go to your hotel room and prepare to how to, you go to the classroom and you teach, and at the end of the comment that you have from parents and your teaching assistant who will be a Chinese to monitor you and all that, it's quite something. Also, if you're a student, because you need to have a work permit, we have others that come to China, they want to work, but they do not have. So they have to either try to, in China, you can just register a business that probably decide to pay tax.
Yeah.
If you're able to do that, you can probably work with some institutions that are ready to. So as I said, you need to register a business, then out of you'll be given a permit to work. So people will just register for the business, then in the name that they have a working permit to work in China. So once they register, they probably put it aside and find maybe teaching job. Once you have the permit to work, then it goes along with your pay. As I said, if you're a student, they try to have way to ensure that you are paid less. Now, let me tell you this experience. The very first time on my job, I remember going to, they asked me to go and teach phonics. Then I called my wife. Amma, if I'm accepted today, then it's by God's grace. But if I'm able to stay here for a week, then it means that they will accept me. So the first day I went, they said go to the hotel. I went to teach. Then they asked me to. After that, they said I should go to the hotel. I went to them. Are they going to allow me to work with them? They said no. They are not deciding. So I just go to the hotel, call my wife again. They said they are deciding. I'm praying, but I still have the phonics books with me here. So I'm trying to learn them. So I did. So finally, I have to work with them, and it was a very nice experience too. So as I said, other works as well. You know, Chinese people, it's like they are doing everything for themselves.
Okay.
From cleaning.
They're already populated.
Yes, from cleaning, you see the old women and men growing flowers in the city. You see those who are into restaurant masons, whatever. Everyone is at work. That is something so, for me, I observe that to be something so good about them. Everyone is working. They don't discriminate any job, like from the cleaning. I've been to London, and if you go to London, you know some jobs like the white will not do. But here, they are ready to do for themselves, from flowering to cleaning and everything they are doing by themselves. So jobs are very limited even for outsiders. And I said, if you are able to teach English and other few jobs, and we have other colleagues too into shipping, you know, and all that.
So you came down before the pandemic?
Yes, I did.
So Doc, if you have been asked to make any suggestions or any recommendations to the Chinese government about the living of Ghanaian students in China, what would you say? Very brief.
One thing that I would say is that, you know, already Chinese government is doing something great, giving scholarship. Chinese government pays roughly 3,500 RMB for a semester. Yeah, already they are doing well. Just that I think that they have to do more in terms of ensuring that students are given enough freedom. If I say freedom, why do I say this? You know, sometimes if you are going into some places, you are restricted. You go there, though the government is not aware of that, but you find notice that maybe blacks are not supposed to come here. And now that there's COVID, I'm told that it's even worse. Okay. So that freedom of every movement and all, it should be at all places. Okay. Already, I think the government is doing well. So they should ensure that they are giving the liberty to all to move anywhere that they want. Yeah, that Ghanaian students should be given some liberty. Yes. Is it the black race or the only Ghanaian students? I'm not saying Ghanaian students. It's the black race, like internationals. Let's put it like international stuff. And maybe it's more or less if you are white skin, it's quite different from if you are black, you know. But maybe this is at the communal level, not to the extent of government. But so far, with the scholarship, I think they are doing great. Yeah. So. Yeah, we are about to go for a break. But before we go for the break, let me get this from you. What attitude or what lifestyle of the Chinese do you think Ghanaians can emulate or should emulate? Oh, Chinese are very hardworking. There's no doubt about that. As I've told you before, like the old women and women and old men are, you know, they are all in the city trying to find something to do. Either they are cleaning the substations, either they are planting flowers, either they are doing one way or the other. Any job at all you see Chinese doing. And Chinese they work all time. Like they are hard working. Let me put it that way. And if you are able to emulate that, it will go a long way to help us. They work 24 hours. They work around the clock. Let me put it that. Yeah. So. That aspect, I think it works. There is this job that I know that students always chase, but just as you put it, even the Chinese are interested in most of the jobs that should have been available for students in China. Yes. Elsewhere in Germany, newspaper delivery.
still remains a very noble job for students. How about China? Is it the same?
No, it's not the same.
If it's not the same, I want you to add this one. Has the use of internet, destroyed the newspaper business in China? Or people still go ahead to buy newspapers irrespective of the internet and abundant news on the social media?
People still do, but still, Chinese are also, they make good use of the internet. So you see everyone holding their phones, tablets, whatever. When you go, like compared to London, you in the trains or subways, you have newspaper being shared or whatever. But in China, it's not just that. No, everyone is holding the phone, tablet, whatever, and trying to read something online instead of the normal one.
So the newspaper business seems to be low in China.
Yes, very low in China.
Because even if the person is old, he or she still prefers to use the phone to get information.
Yes.
As compared to Europe, where the aged still believe or still have some passion for newspaper.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
But one more thing, you said something that Chinese government to do for Ghanaians. Not only Ghanaians, for all international students. They should allow them to work.
Work.
Yes.
Work is the case here. We're going for a break. When we come back,
they should allow them to work.
Working in China and studying in China.
Yes, work and study as well. It's
Yeah, so Dr. Amoh, it's about the kind of programs and courses we do abroad. You had a chance to go to China to do a program, a whole PhD program. How does that impact you and your nation, Ghana?
I think that education in China, I always put it, is you can go to China. One, if you are going there to do masters, it's either you come out to be a good student or a bad one. That is for the masters, because supervision on master students are quite low, and for that matter, most students do abuse that. And instead of student to study, probably they may resort to working and all that, because the supervision is low. And at the end of the day, they are able to easily submit their thesis and other things and get passed. So if you are not the type of student that goes to the library to read all the time, then it means that you come out as you come out as a bad one if you are not the type that goes to the library to read, or if you don't know what you want purposely in that studies. Aside that, their PhD is fantastic, research based, and requirements are so strict that there you cannot joke. So we have some students, once they're able to manage to finish the masters, they think that it's the same way they can do that to the PhD. And you realize that they get to a point and they are dropouts.
You can't just do both work and studies.
Yeah, you can't just do that. So with their PhD, fantastic. The supervision, though, is quite low, but you need to get the requirement for that. You need to study hard to be able to pass through and come out with your PhD. I personally going to China, though I have a bit of research background, but the first time I met my supervisor and gave me an assignment, I went to my room, then trying to do whatever I was asked to do. In fact, I did something, sent to her. She looked at it and said, "No, this is nothing. You just giving me something that's not important." So I went back to my room to do something else. I tried another, sent to her and said, "No, it's not accepted. As a PhD, I need to be thinking
some software like our program."
Yes, my methodology.
Econometrics background.
Yes, you need to get all that. And I called my wife that, "Amma, if I'm able to finish this PhD, is by God's grace, because already I'm frustrated the way my supervisor, my supervisor is treating me. So unless you get to know what you're doing on your PhD, or you're able to find a unique problem to solve, or you understand the purpose of your PhD, it becomes so difficult.
Yeah.
But once you're able to get that through, with the help of your supervisor, you come out as a very refined person. Like I was having PhD in China, I always say thank you to God for that because it's given me a lot of experience.
Yeah. So you had your master's abroad and you had your PhD abroad. With your experience of these two, looking at Chinese educational system or that of UK, what is missing in our country? What do you think could be learned from China when it comes to tertiary education?
A lot of things can be learned. We can learn a lot from Chinese. When it comes to the university is the powerhouse for the nation. Every innovation that comes out is through the Chinese research academia. They are all the time they are creating knowledge. They want something new. They want to find better ways of doing things. And government is so much interested in that. So there are a lot of money funding for such research projects.
Yeah.
So this is for you to, they want something new. Like as I say, as a PhD student, they will tell you what's new, something new are you creating? That is what
something
they want.
New.
That's it. Novelty.
Reinvent the wheel.
Yes, novelty. What are you adding to knowledge? And they insist on that. So until you are able to come out with something new that can be associated to your name or whatever, they are not whatever. And you can see all the professors, every professor is having a project, one or two, that is in connection with government project as well, like
how to develop China.
Yeah, how to develop China, how to come out with a product that will better the life of Chinese, that will go out there to make money and stuff. So with their PhD, for me, it's fantastic. And Africans, so when I got there, I realized one thing. We have a lot of academians in Ghana, all right, professors, all that. But I think that our content of publication is a bit low. We need to set the standard high. And we need to target good publication house to publish our articles instead of maybe relying on the, low publishers and stuff and that. These are Chinese. Chinese, if you appear, they'll tell you one SCI or one SSCI, or you go for any international publication, 3 of them. And for you to get one SCI, it means that you need to learn something. You come out knowing that you've learned and you'll be proud of yourself.
Yeah.
Let me put it that way.
Yeah, so that is doing a PhD in China and what you make of it. We're going for a break. When we come back, Dr. Amoh tells us more about living and studying in China and life or prospects after the studies. So, Doc, you are now in Ghana, your home country. You've gained so much knowledge from UK, from China, and you are back home. And you are a lecturer at a university in Ghana. What do you have to share when it comes to Ghana's progress with regard to education, and what do you think in the next coming years we need to be doing as a nation? And you will also come in with your last submission about living and studying in China and everything.
Okay, I think, when I finished, I decided to come back home. We have a lot of students, they finish their master, they are feared to come back home simply because they think that when they come home, they will not find a job. But for me, anytime I meet when I was there, when I meet Ghanaian students, I always tell them, let's go home. The opportunities are there. When you make a good step, you get it. Though I told you before, I went to London, I came, I didn't get a job, but that did not even frighten me. Like, I came, I was there and I applied to Pentecost University, and I came down in August. When I came about 2 weeks or 3 weeks, I had a call to have an interview with them. And I came for the interview, they said they'll get back to me. I was there, I checked my mail, and I had a letter that I have been accepted. And I joined Pentecost University, and it's been a very nice experience. I've come to love Pentecost so much of the way they do their things, and I've come to love the church Pentecost as well. Yeah. As we speak, We have a new vice chancellor for the university. When I joined, it was a college, but now we are a year on. Yeah, okay. we are a full-fledged university, and we have a new vice chancellor who is doing so great. For now, we are University A+. We have an agenda that our purpose is just to have students that will have the intellect, that will have God-fearing attitude as well, so that in the end, if these two are combined, they'll be able to solve societal problems. We want to mentor students that will go out and they will be a role model to the society. They will be problem solvers as well, and we are doing great. I wish that all universities across board will be a research-led, as we've started ourselves. I know there are other pioneer universities, I know they are, but we can do more because they have a lot of resources, and once the resources are available, I think that they need to, lift up their research work, not into how do I put it?
Invent the wheel or what?
Replication of old research. We need to generate new ideas, new knowledge, to be able to, solve numerous problems that is facing us as a people. Yeah. So university, so far in Pentecost, we are doing good, and I'm doing good here, and I love Pentecost University also.
Yeah. So Doctor came home after his PhD. He did not forget Ghana. Doctor, we appreciate and thank you for being on this show. And this is how we draw curtains on today's program. Thank you so much, Doctor.
Thank you very much. Thank you for the opportunity given me. And I think I appreciate that. It's all about sharing. It's all about educating. It's all about, ensuring that the society will be better off. Sure. And I'm great to be part of this project. My doors are always open for such intellectual projects. Yeah. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.